Jackson, what's the sign for... This is not... Jackson, what's the sign for zoo? What's the sign for zoo? Yeah, that's right. What's the sign for penguin? Yeah. What's the sign for truck? Do you remember the sign for truck?
What?
We have lots of trucks. It's okay. What's the sign for pee? What's the sign for pee? What do you do when you want to pee? Or you went pee? Yeah, I cheated. I told you that one. What's the sign for time? Yeah, that's right. Do you remember the Jackson? Do you remember the sign for read? Read? What do you sign when you want me to read a book? That's the sign for pee, right? You got it. What's the sign for read? No, you're not gonna do the sign for read. Okay. What's the sign for boat? What's the sign? You want to do the sign for boat? Could you please sign boat? Yay! Boat floating. That's right. What's the sign for apple? Apple? You don't want to sign apple? You don't remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the sign for rice? How about the sign for... Do you remember the sign for rice? Yeah, we do rice outside. What's the sign for rice?
Wait.
What's the sign for gorilla? What's the sign for gorilla? Yeah, bang, bang, bang. That's a lot of gorilla. Do you remember the sign for truck? What about the sign for shoes? Do you remember the sign for you have those? Your shoes are on your feet. What's the sign? Do you remember? No. What's the sign for dinosaur?
Down.
You want me to read? Okay.
Yeah.
Read a dinosaur book. Do you remember the sign for greens? Sign for greens.
No.
No, don't remember? Okay. What about alligator? Do you remember alligator? There's alligators at the zoo. That's right. That's pretty good. Maybe. Do you remember mouse? Do you remember the sign for mouse? Read? I should read to you? Okay. What's about the sign for please? What's the sign for please? Can you sign please? Yeah, and what's the sign for thank you? Yeah, very good. Thank you, Jackson.